What's going on, guys? It is Saturday morning. It's like 2 in the morning. We were supposed to drive up to Green Bay last night, but it poured all night in Muskego here, and it poured all night in Green Bay. So we pushed it back to save some money on a hotel, and we are up bright and early now, and we're gonna drive up. So not really sure whether we're gonna fish the west or the east shore yet, but I do know we're gonna cast for big walleyes. So stay with us. This is gonna be a sweet bite, probably post-spawn, but we're gonna throw a bunch of different baits and crush a bunch of big fish.
You gotta tell Rick, 10 to 12 pounder. Good one.
Big one. Here, stay back there because you're in the way of that camera now. I'll bring all the fish back there to you. Not huge, but pretty good one. Never jigged it.
Jumbo.
Keep it filming. Nice fish. 27 incher, never even jigged it once. Smoked it on the way down. A lot of sturgeon laying around in here. I'm good for now on the net. Oh, you can run the... No, we're good. It's right here. Not a very big one. I'm going to spot lock now again. There you go. It's a good one, Gams. That's a big one there, buddy. All right, Nate, you film that. Double trouble. Could be Gams 30 right there. Is a lot of weight. Big head shakes, too. I got it. You got the camera? Little guy? It's big. This is a really big one. This is going to be 28 plus for sure. Oh yeah. Look how skinny that fish is. Oh, a long skinny one.
Long and skinny.
Pull him up and go to the camera, Gams. So we're just, as we drift along, when we mark a pot of fish, we'll pull one out and then we'll spot lock. And then it seems like we can get 3 or 4 more and then we'll take it off spot lock and just keep drifting. So it's kind of the name of the game. Get a fish, drift a little bit, get a fish.
Decent fish.
But great fish. 27 incher maybe. Full spawn.
Short.
Like, grab that color right there. Throw it on. He said, are you sure?
I heard you tell him to grab that color, Nate.
I was like, you want to go a little bit darker.
Yeah,
It's cast all, they're all around the boat, so just kind of fan cast.
they're all around. See that?
Yep.
Just hammered it on the way down. Hammered it. Huh? Nah, 25. I'm good. If it gets bigger, I'll tell you. Boat flip. You know it's a good day when you're boat flipping 25 inchers. It's gonna be ooh, that sucks. It's gonna be a field day out here today. Get the camera on him.
Big one.
That's a tank, dude. It's a 30 incher. Yep, that's your fish right there.
Oh, baby.
Come on. You barely got hooked, dude.
Holy.
Oh. That's your fish.
Dude. Wow.
Yep.
What?
That is a totally different place, man.
Wow. Wow.
29, I'm going. Oh no, I think you got it. Yep.
There you go.
Let's go.
30 and a quarter. All right, guys. Well, it's only like 9. It's 8:10. We've been fishing for an hour. We've probably got 12 to 15 fish. A bunch over 27, a bunch over 25. Gam's just got a 30 and a quarter. This post-spawn bite is just epic. Everybody rushes out here for the pre-spawn. It's awesome. They're full of eggs. But if you want to feel some hard hits, a bunch of bites, and catch some huge fish, post-spawn is awesome. This one went 30 and a quarter. I'm guessing we're gonna get a couple more like that today, so we're gonna get her back and get back after it. Let's kill it. That thing hit it so hard on the way down, it's not even funny. You can wait till it gets close, Gams. Okay. Oh, that's a giant. That's a 30 incher. That's giant.
Wow, that thing came quick.
That is a monster. Wow. That's a hog.
We're after.
That is what we're after, guys.
Go yak
Have
fishing.
those players games?
Yes, sir. Gotta get a measure on that.
That's what we're after right there. Probably 29, maybe 30, but all post-spawn fish, but it makes for a super fun bite and really big hook sets. So get some pictures. Well, let's get you plugged in so it's charging and then we can. Should we split? I can feel all the teeth on the line. We're going 29. We're honing Clark's net skills in. Dude, look at that bait.
He's definitely getting his practice today.
Again. Epic. Look at this. They're just choking that bait today, man. This is. It was one of the most fun days fishing ever. It's crazy. All right, guys. Well, 10:30, I think. Fishing's been really good so far. The wind's laid down. It hasn't picked up like it was supposed to. A lot of boats came in on us though. Came in on everybody and kind of shut it down. So we're gonna make a move, run around, try to find some new fish. Hopefully get away from the people a little bit. And maybe throw some jerk baits. So it's a really fun way to catch me this time of year. We can go find some fish in like 4 feet of water. It's really effective. So stay with us. So Clark and I are busting our butt out here, making sure we're catching fish. This guy's eating all the food. So we're catching all these fish, we go in the cooler to get food and gone.
Unbelievable.
Live well.
All those muffins, Veronica packed us. This guy, unreal.
What do you got to say to yourself?
What do you got to say about that? Let's hear it.
You guys gotta eat, man. They're calling the fish. Like
All right.
Some of us are.
Look at him, he's got his net, hands glued to the net. We gotta feed him too.
That's what I'm trying to do, but I mean that fish shouldn't survive.
It's a hog. All right, guys. Well, we made a big move after fishing this spot this morning. Really got them good. These fish shut down. Just came back, started drifting, and Nate got one right away after we spot locked. So hopefully these fish will turn back on.
Awesome.
What do you think?
It was fun.
Big one.
Heck yeah.
Get some pictures. Oh my gosh, this is neat.
That's a tanker.
It just came off in the net. Are you kidding me?
That's a big one.
Dude, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. That is hard. I might have to measure this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's your biggest, right?
That's
that's
probably my biggest walleye.
27, 28 all day.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Talk for your technique, Nate.
I don't know, man. Just popping and ripping her off the bottom. Just hammered it.
All right, let's get some pictures and then we'll let it go.
Come on.
Sit in that corner again.
All right, guys, measured him, or her, 28 and a half, right, Matt? It's my personal best, so super proud.
Fifth or sixth over 28.
She goes. Heck no.
So we had a bunch of boats come in on us now. There was a few boats in here this morning, but us and a couple other boats are really pounding the fish, and now it really got busy. So fish are kind of turning off a little bit here in the show. I'm gonna switch up to a plastic and see if that makes a difference, but otherwise we're gonna have to keep moving. I just switched up my technique. Oh my gosh, I just switched up my technique throwing this plastic. This is a giant. That might be 30.
That's a skinny motherfucker.
Green swim bait. Beautiful fish. The fish just quit biting for us on the ripping wraps, and I went to that 3.8 inch Kitech, and that thing hammered it second cast. $29.25. We'll get some pictures and let her go. Right here. A giant again. It's a giant. I just switched up this tactic, you guys, and these things are just crushing it. Look at that. Oh my god. Another fucking that one pinned it. Good fish. I just sat on that last fish. Swim bait, man. They turned off these ripping wraps, and now we can't keep them off the swim bait. It's probably a 28 or so. Alright guys, so fishing slowed down a little bit here, and I figured I'd take a moment to tell you guys about what I'm using to get a few more bites. So the area we're fishing is a pretty pressured area. The boats come and go, there's a lot of motor traffic, so everybody was catching them on ripping wraps this morning, and then it totally died. And to get a few more bites, I switched over to this 3/8 ounce googly eye Kalen's jig head with a 3.8 inch Kitech. And sometimes that can be the whole trick when you get a bunch of boat pressure and fish that get stubborn and don't want to eat. Just change your baits up, change your tactics, work your baits slower, and just keep it in front of their face. So it's definitely been getting us a bunch more bites. At this point, it's been pretty slow for everybody, and this has been the only thing producing for us the last half hour. So figured we'd talk about that a little bit and show you guys how I'm working it. Throw it out there. Bail over, let it hit the bottom. We're fishing like 7 feet, so it's been about 6 to 10 seconds before it hits the bottom. Once you hit bottom, you're just gonna do 2 fast cranks, let it dunk the bottom, and then I'll change it up. I'll do 1, 2, 3. And all you're doing when you change it up is your bait's getting more hang time. So if you're doing 3 cranks, you know your bait's gonna take longer to hit the bottom versus 1. So I'll just change it up, give the fish something different to chase. And most of them are smashing on the way down, and a few of them are pinning it to the bottom. So it's just a little tip to get you a few more bites when things get tough. Come on, we're gonna pick up the camera. Dude, this one's not coming up. He's just sitting there. Absolute cinder block. This is craziness. We're just moving around on the shoreline break here, and
Was it a perch?
Watching this live scope. I don't think it's a perch. It's not as big as a shark.
Dude, they hit those swim baits so hard. Your rod just gets throttled. Yeah. Like you can watch the guy next to you get his swim bait throttled. This is a big one, dude. What's your PB? 28.5. Yeah, we might have. Oh no. Oh, pull it. That's full. That's a big fish. That's a nice fish. 27.
Look, it just engulfed it. Absolutely deleted it.
We're just moving up and down on these shoreline breaks and watching that live scope. Clark, is that net glued to your hand?
Yeah, well, I've had this in my hand more than I had that rod.
Nice net job. Gams, you're on the tanks, man.
See how good I'm good at it?
Cookie cutter 27s.
Yeah.
It's a walleye. It's a walleye.
Big ski. Big ski.
Dude, it's a giant. It's a nice one.
Oh.
Clarky.
That's out the net
Okay, I just want to let you know that's Class A. No. I went to 3 different schools for it. Hey, boy.
See him, buddy. Nice
Go,
one.
baby.
Come up to that GoPro too.
Good.
So we get double.
Low 20s, let's say.
Let him go.
Screw that up. Here we go. The release, just a belly.
Wakoyak fishing, right, Gams?
Yep.
Call him up.
Belly's empty. Call him up for a
Nate's just grinding back there.
Trying.
Thank you. Take pride in that.
You're just getting the dial too.
I didn't think it was that big. I think he has it hooked weird. Yeah, he's got it hooked weird. I think I have a pike. I don't know if I have a pike or not. If it's not a pike, I'll need the net, but if it is, came in shallow. See, I made that little move. All of a sudden, boom, we're getting fish again. Just in case it is what it is, a giant. Well, that was kind of my fault too. Another giant! Dude, look at how he ate that bait. Open up. See ya. Look at that, Cams. Hey. Can you toss me up a pliers, guys? Come here, reel this in.
No.
I think it's really big.
Hey, you want it?
It's swimming upstream. Oh my god, it's a giant 3-spawner. Well, I just knocked a huge one off of Nate's line on accident. Now I just hooked a big 3-spawner. Oh my god, that's big. That's big. Dude, you did your best to knock that off, didn't you?
Look at this. Oh my god. Dude, that is the fattest walleye I've ever seen.
Holy fuck. That didn't look that big.
No, it didn't.
It'd be a shame if someone lost that.
I don't.
Look
Was this the one you lost?
dude, that's a hammer.
That's mean.
That is a giant there.
Hold that up to the camera.
Look at the size of that walleye, guys. That is an absolute monster. Let's see that bump board, Gams.
The judge.
No, not even close. 28.
28.5.
There's my 28.
28, but an absolute pre-spawn monster, guys. That's what it's all about right there. 30, a bunch of 27s, and I just caught this absolute giant. We're gonna let her go. Oh, just a giant heavyweight again. Close. All right, guys, well, we just got back from Green Bay. We had a fantastic trip. We caught a bunch of big fish, had a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. So I figured I'd take a little bit of time now that we're home to talk about some of the colors and the tactics and lures that we were fishing. So number one, Saturday morning, Green Bay O'Connell staple, number 6 Rip and Wrap. But this color, Red Fire Craw, it's a stock color by Rapala. Notoriously hot post-spawn color. East shore, west shore, water clarity, does not matter. This bait will catch you fish post-spawn in Green Bay. So if you guys are coming up, make sure you got a bunch of these in your box. Pre-spawn, it's good too, but it's not as good. It just seems like post-spawn, they key in on this color really hard, you guys. So I definitely recommend putting some of these in the box. Another thing Jake and I do, we always change out our back hooks with a number 4 treble hook, usually VMC or Gamakatsu, either one works, but we don't swap our hooks. We just take the smaller Rapala back treble hook off and put a number 4 on there. Seems to get us a few more fish in the boat, especially when we're tournament fishing in cold water. Post spawn might not matter as much. A lot of the fish are smoking it on the way down and inhaling the bait. So, but definitely a good tip. Change out those back hooks, rotate them. I know some guys rotate them. We just prefer to change them. So, number 2, you guys saw in the video, we were crushing them on Keytech swim baits. I was throwing black and gold. My buddy was throwing sungill. And we were throwing those on 3/8 ounce round ball jig heads. I was throwing a Kalen's googly eye jig. It's got some rattles in it. Not sure how much of a difference that made. My buddy Tim actually turned me onto these jig heads a couple weeks ago. He said, hey man, they got a big head and they fall slow. And that slow fall in spring is so key, you guys. A lot of guys will throw darter head hair jigs, darter head swim bait jigs in spring. And I just would highly recommend getting large circumference round ball swim bait heads. You get that slower fall and the fish really key in on that. Most of them are hitting on the way down, especially post spawn. And the slower fall you can get, the better. So you can go to a lighter jig, but that's gonna be a little bit harder to feel. So I prefer using a heavier jig with a large circumferenced round ball jig head so you can feel the jig and you still get that slow fall. So that's definitely something I recommend. Definitely something to play with if you come out here pre or post spawn. We really didn't get around to throwing any hair jigs. We just didn't have to. So we didn't play with any hair jigs. We were gonna go throw some jerk baits, which is one of my favorite way to catch post spawn walleyes, but we kind of ran out of time on Sunday. We didn't move around that much. We just didn't have to. The fish were dumping out of the rivers and we were just kind of sitting in the river mouths and hitting them as they came out. So we had a great time. We caught a lot of big fish. I think we had 45 to 50 fish on Saturday and 20 over 27. And then Sunday, our fish didn't run as big, but we had like 30 fish in 3 or 4 hours of fishing. So really fun time, guys. Don't get stuck on the pre-spawn bite. Come up to Green Bay for the post-spawn bite and check out all it has to offer. You're gonna catch more fish, you're gonna catch more big fish, and you're still gonna get those post or pre-spawn fish mixed in. So definitely something I recommend. And then lastly, I see so many guys, especially people who aren't from around here, getting so stuck on the rip and wrap. I mean, there's all these videos out there throwing rip and wrap this, rip and wrap that in O'Connell. The fish in the Green Bay system will key in on so many different baits. Swim baits, hair jigs, crankbaits, casting jerk baits, minnow style plastics. You can throw so many things and catch fish out here, and over you just see boats with 4 guys, everybody's throwing a rip and wrap. Mix it up. You're gonna get more bites. These fish have seen 1,000 rip and wraps. So change it up, guys. Don't get hung up on one bait just because you saw someone, you know, being successful on it. There are times when the rip and wrap is gonna outproduce anything else, but I've never had it where Somebody else in the boat can't catch fish on a swim bait or a hair jig. So mix it up. You're gonna get more bites and you might get a few more big fish while you're up here. And the other thing is move around. I mean, you know, post-spawn you might not have to as much. The fishing gets pretty easy, but pre-spawn this year, there was just so many huge piles of boats, you know, out deep in one spot, or, you know, 500 boats here, 300 boats there, and it's like nobody moves around and tries to mix it up. And I think that hurts everybody, to be honest with you, because by the time, you know, 10 boats get on a pack of fish, they've already pressured those fish. Most of the active fish have been pulled out of that group. And then everyone keeps filling in, and every boat that gets there does a little bit worse and a little bit worse. So, you know, don't key in on groups of boats, guys. By the time you get there, it's probably too late. Go out there with the mindset you're gonna find your own fish different depths of water. We had one of our best springs ever this year for big fish and numbers, and we did something different every day. We keyed in on shallower water every day than most guys were. A lot of guys were fishing 10 to 12 foot. We caught a majority of our fish this year in 4. So there's gonna be fish in all different stages, staggered in all different water columns, or water depths, I should say. So don't be afraid to mix it up. Don't follow the other boats around, do your own thing. And if you do that, you're probably gonna put a few more fish in your boat, especially if you're the first boat to a pot of fish. That's when you have the big number days. I'm the first boat there. I catch 15 on my first drift, 15 on my second drift. A few boats move in. It gets worse and worse and worse, and then guys just start coming because there's boats. So move around, stay active. I love to fish shallow. A lot of guys don't. They just think that the bite's a little tougher shallow, but if you grind it out in there, you're gonna get bigger fish. So don't get stuck on one depth of water, boats or baits. Mix it up, stay active. Go talk to the bait shops. They know what variety of baits the fish are hitting on. So support your local guides, support your local bait shops, and go catch walleyes, guys. Green Bay's awesome. It's still an absolute world-class fishery. Super fortunate that I get to spend most of my time out there. So I look forward to next weekend. Until then, see you guys and subscribe.